Difficulty with object constancy. Object constancy refers to the ability to maintain an emotional connection to someone even when they aren't physically present or when the relationship faces conflict or distance. For individuals with cluster B personality traits, there can be a significant struggle with object constancy, leading to extreme emotional reactions, especially during separations or arguments. When someone lacks object constancy, they may feel as if the person they care about has disappeared or abandoned them, even in minor moments of disconnection. What it is: difficulty maintaining a stable emotional connection to someone when they are not physically present, or when experiencing conflict or emotional distance. This can result in feelings of abandonment, extreme anger, or a sudden shift from love to hate. What it isn't: normal feelings of sadness, frustration, or loneliness when someone is physically absent or during relationship conflicts. People without issues with object constancy can still hold on to the knowledge that the relationship or bond remains intact despite temporary separations or disagreements. Why people struggle with object constancy. The lack of object constancy is often tied to emotional instability, fear of abandonment, and difficulty regulating emotions. For individuals with certain cluster B traits, the inability to hold on to a stable sense of connection can lead to dramatic shifts in how they perceive others, swinging from idealization to devaluation. Here's how this difficulty with object constancy manifests in different disorders. IDD, or Impulsive Disregard Disorder, ASPD. Those with IDD typically lack deep emotional bonds with others, so they may struggle with object constancy in a more indifferent way. When someone isn't present or useful to them, they may simply disregard or forget that person, acting as though the emotional connection never existed. Their focus is often on the immediate moments and their needs, which means relationships are frequently transactional rather than emotionally constant. ESFD, Extreme Self-Focused Disorder, or NPD. Individuals with ESFD can experience difficulty with object constancy when their need for admiration and validation isn't being met. If someone they rely on for attention is absent or criticizes them, they may react by devaluing that person or feeling betrayed. Their self-image is fragile, and without a steady stream of praise, they can feel abandoned, leading to shifts in how they perceive and treat others. They often lack the ability to hold on to the idea that a person can still value them even when not physically present. IED, Emotional Intensity Disorder, or BPD. Object constancy issues are particularly intense in those with IED. Their emotional state is often highly reactive, and if they feel disconnected from someone they care about, they may experience extreme feelings of abandonment, anger, or despair. A person they adored just hours earlier may suddenly be perceived as untrustworthy or hurtful if they aren't physically present or if a conflict arises. This leads to a push-pull dynamic in relationships where they constantly need reassurance to feel secure, but may quickly turn against someone if they feel even a temporary disconnection. DASD, or Dramatic Attention Seeking Disorder, HPD. For those with DASD, the struggle with object constancy often revolves around their need for constant attention. When they're not in the spotlight, they may feel as though they are forgotten or insignificant, leading them to act out to regain attention. Their relationships are often built around immediate validation, and when that's not readily available, they may devalue or lash out at those who aren't providing the attention they crave. Without the ability to maintain a sense of connection during quiet moments, they may continuously seek out dramatic ways to re-engage. The impact of difficulty with object constancy. For those in relationships with individuals who struggle with object constancy, it can feel like being on a constant emotional roller coaster. When things are going well, the person may seem loving, connected, and fully engaged. But the moment there's a physical distance or disagreement, the emotional connection seems to vanish. This can lead to feelings of being loved one moment and despised the next, creating a chaotic and unstable relationship dynamic. For the individual struggling with object constancy, this lack of emotional continuity can be deeply distressing. They may feel abandoned, rejected, or forgotten even during brief separations, leading to emotional outbursts, clinginess, or sudden shifts in how they view their partner. This inability to hold on to a stable emotional connection often drives destructive behaviors in relationships, as they constantly seek reassurance but are easily triggered by perceived slights or distance. Protecting yourself. If you're in a relationship with someone who struggles with object constancy, it's important to recognize that their emotional reactions are often tied to their own insecurity, not your actions. Setting clear boundaries around communication and ensuring that you're not drawn into their emotional volatility is essential. It's also crucial to maintain your own emotional stability and avoid trying to constantly reassure or fix their emotional state, as this can lead to codependency.